I treated patients with my voice, telling them beautiful stories, telling them that one day we would have birthdays again, that one day we would sing again. When the Sighet ghetto was liquidated in May 1944, its remaining Jews were deported to Auschwitz. After arriving at the death camp, Dr. Gisella Perl was assigned to look after 32,000 women kept alive to preform slave labor. Months later, she watched their liquidation. A new batch of slave laborers had arrived. Surrounded by death, Gisella became determined to make her fellow prisoners feel human again and began a ritual that spread throughout Auschwitz's barracks. Each night, locked in the dark, Gisella would whisper to the women nearest her and fantasize about their perfect day. They went shopping, visited a museum, or enjoyed a delicious meal that day. And for a moment, they were able to remember life outside of Auschwitz. In the spring and summer of 1944, the Jewish women deported from Hungary were ordered to make themselves known upon arrival. They did, and Giselle witnessed their horrific fates. Never again was anyone to betray their condition, she told her fellow prisoners, and made a vow. To save the mother, she would do all she could to make sure no prisoner was pregnant in Auschwitz. Gisella's knowledge and willingness to risk her saved the lives of many female prisoners. After 7 months, Gisella was moved to a labor camp near Hamburg, and at the beginning of March 1945, she was transferred to Bergen-Belsen. Gisella. Bergen-Belsen can never be described because every language lacks the suitable words to depict its horrors. Everybody had typhus, everybody was covered with lice. And there was no food, no water, no medicine. The narrow streets between the blocks were full of skeleton-like men and women who crept around in the dirt, searching for a drop of water, a bite of food, until, utterly exhausted, they sat down beside one of the mountains of corpses to die. I arrived there on March 7, 1945, and the next day I found the bodies of my brother and my 20-year-old sister-in-law among the dead. After the Holocaust, Gisella wandered through Germany for 19 days. She learned that her husband and son had been murdered. Her husband Ephraim beaten to death days before liberation. Gisella lost touch with the non-Jewish couple they entrusted their daughter, Gabriella, during the war. But, in 1978, while lecturing about her experiences, someone in the audience told Gisella that Gabriella was alive and had built a new life in Israel. Gisella joined her daughter and worked as a volunteer in obstetrics clinics run by Jerusalem's Shaare Tzedek Hospital. Each time she attended a delivery, she paused to utter a prayer. God, you owe me a life, a living baby.